The war in Israel right now is not because Hamas bombed that music festival and killed around 260 Israeli youths who were at that festival. The war started as early as 1947, before the 1948 declaration of the State of Israel. That's when the war started. And we know the Yom Kippur War, we know about it. It is about the creation of the State of Palestine in the 6th to 7th century by the Ottoman Empire. But now people are saying Palestine are defending their territory. There is no Palestine. Palestine is a creature of the Ottoman Empire and the Romans. Israel was defeated by the Romans and they were evicted from Jerusalem. And the Ottoman Empire did not want the Jews to come back. So they said, we are now creating a new country called Palestine. Yes. How can we have a country that was born in the 6th century when Israel existed 3,000 years before that event? What we call Palestine is a creature of the colonizer. The land belongs to the Jews. What I actually think was done wrongly is that the British and the Americans lured the Israelites to believe that it was enough to get a piece of their land in 1948 and divide their land between the Palestinians and the Jews. And when they made that UN resolution, which the Arabs voted against, they created a long-term problem. Israel should have simply gone to war to recover all her territory. And this war could never be existing until today. And as I talk now, I can tell you authoritatively, this is the only solution to the Gaza Strip conflict. All the Arabs must leave. And Israel must claim back all her land. And so those who think that the Palestinians are defending their land, there is no land called Palestine. Go and study your history very well before you go onto the social media to defend something that you haven't learned properly. There was no Palestine in the 5th century. Tell me, where was David king? Was David a king of Palestine? Don't confuse Philistine and Palestine. They are not the same thing. You can't say the Jews must live in peace with the Arabs when the Quran says Allah wants to destroy all the Jews until there is no one of them left. The Arabs believe that it is God's job to kill all the Jews. The Hamas are not introducing something new since they took over in 2006. That's not what they are introducing. The enmity between the Jews and the Arabs have little to do with the territory. It has got to do with their religions. The Arabs believe that Muhammad went back to heaven from Jerusalem. They want to take back Jerusalem because of their religious myopia and lack of spiritual knowledge. They want to take back Jerusalem. This is why they quickly built the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's because of that. It has nothing to do with the territory. It's all about religious supremacy. They have a vision, which they started calling Vision 2030. Now they are calling it Vision 2050. That they must have Jerusalem as the capital city of the nation of Islam in Jerusalem. They want Islam to be the most popular religion by 2050. This is the problem. Their religious ideology does not allow them to have a discussion where they make peace. The Quran does not encourage peace between the Jews and the Muslims. The Quran teaches the Arabs to kill all the Jews. How can you try to have a conversation with somebody who believes that God wants him to kill you? Listen to their rhetoric, listen to their publications, listen to what they are saying on Twitter, on Instagram. We are going to exterminate the Jews. And they say Allah Akbar. They quote the Quran, they quote the Hadith. That's what they quote. This matter will never be resolved. What I have told you here is the only solution. The territory of the Palestinians is being colonized by the Jews in the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip. The Palestinians have no territory. Now listen to us, Zimbabwe. Imagine if the day we got our independence, we took over part of Zimbabwe and Victoria Falls, Kariba and Hwange remained with the white. And now some of the Zimbabweans are now hunting in the Hwange National Park and they are killed by the the whites. The whites say, we don't want to see Zimbabweans in our territory. That's exactly what is happening in Israel. When the Jews came back, they were taking over their land from a colonizer. Yes. The colonizer are not the Jews. Yes. They are the Palestinians. Kingdom of Palestine was created by the Ottoman Empire between 600 AD and 700 AD. That is 6 centuries after the era of the first church. And they eradicated the nation of Israel completely until 1948. So the Jews are coming back to their land. The Palestinians say, we don't want the Jews to come back. The United Nations voted and said, no, the Jews must go back. But the only condition is they must share the land. So the Jews agreed to share the land with the colonizer. And then the Jews realized we made a mistake. They said, we are going to take back all the land bit by bit. The Palestinians saw it. They started bombing Israel. And now we have a conflict. The longest conflict of all human history is the conflict of the Gaza Strip. It started in 1947 until today. There is always tension because people are refusing to understand the conflict and what caused the conflict. So this is the conflict. It's about gaining the whole territory of the kingdom of Israel.